Hey there folks, Rel here. Recently I did a video on the legitimate ways to grind for certs in PlanetSide 2, ways that make you an asset to the team and still keep you rolling in the experience. That video was posted in the forums and it received some pretty interesting feedback. One person mentioned that I should do a video on the more evil way to grind for certs, the stuff that eventually ends up ruining a game's community. The theory behind it is that the more people who know about the bad stuff, the more people that will abuse it, and the more people that abuse it, the quicker Sony Online Entertainment will feel the need to fix it. That said, this video is going to mention a handful of ways to grind for certs. The first two are what is considered boosting, so not legit. The last two are semi-legit, and the video is going to be pretty long, but it's I'll put the really stupid stuff, the abusive things, right up front. So yay! As a side note, if you don't dump a few dollars into a weekly booster, you really should. PlanetSide 2 is cross-faction, so technically if you want to abuse experience gain and grind certs, it's pretty easy to do. The quickest way that I've heard about is by getting 2 medics of the same faction and 1 engineer from the opposing faction. The engineer sets up a turret which has infinite ammo and kills one of the medics. The other medic reses his buddy and the loop continues. So engineers, infinite ammo, you just keep killing the same guy over and over and over, and he gets experience, and then the medic who is resing the other guy gets experience for the res bonus obviously, and then you can switch off later. I don't have a video of that, but I'm pretty sure you can figure it out on your own. It's not that complicated. I will, however, show you a video of a simple experience loop you can do with a Sunderer and another allied vehicle. The ammo supply utility slot for Sunderers dishes out ammo periodically to nearby allied vehicles, and when that happens, you get some experience for it. To get free experience, you just set your ammo Sunderer up to an allied vehicle, and then you hop into the allied vehicle's turret, fire off a round, and then hit the reload button, and ta-da, you get free experience. The more allied vehicles nearby without ammo, the more experience you'll get. So technically, you can just get a bunch of buddies and have them sit in vehicles next to your Sunderer, and just they fire the turret once, and then they hit the reload, and then you just rake in all the experience. Like I mentioned earlier, the last two methods are referred to as boosting. So just like exchanging kills with your buddy in Call of Duty or trading arena rating in World of Warcraft, it's not hacking or glitching, it's just not playing the game how it was intended to be played, and you selfishly reap the benefits for doing so. I'm not going to talk about why I think boosting is terrible for a community, because that's an entirely long video in itself. So instead, here's a clip of an ammo Sunderer doing what it is supposed to do, which is roll with groups of allies and keep them topped off. It's both a great way to get experience and you'll actually be an asset to your faction. Now here comes the long part of the video. I'm going to be rambling on pretty much at this point, but the two methods for grinding certs at this point both deal with finding facilities that are really far away from the front lines, and then destroying or hacking their turrets, generators, and consoles. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to plot a course for a place I know has a lot of turrets, and then we're going to fly over there as an infiltrator in your standard fighter. So my Scythe actually has night vision on the default weapon and rocket pods as my secondary. Hover airframe helps as well, but most of this isn't necessary. You can do it right out of the box. So we're going to fly to a desolate part of the map, destroy the turrets, hack the consoles. And I don't really consider this boosting because you're not abusing a game mechanic for the sole purpose of ranking up. I mean, that might be your mentality, your mindset, but you're actually being an asset to your faction in the sense that when you do end up pushing down here, when your faction does rather, the turrets will already be taken care of, and it gives your allies a chance to conquer the facilities more quickly. And hacking consoles helps as well because it limits where enemies will be able to pull vehicles and aircraft from, which means less reinforcements for the front lines. Lastly, you are going to most likely run into random people trying to stop you, and then you can kill them for experience too. It's a fun time. So really it's a win-win-win-win-win-win-win-win-win. Night vision, it really helps a lot with being able to identify enemy turrets, and you'll see me use it just frequently on my Scythe. And I'm just going around, and this is what, an amp station. Amp stations have huge amounts of turrets. So do tech plants. Don't go to biolabs. One thing you might pick up on is these turrets. When you deplete their health bar, and you can see it by pressing Q when you're looking at the turret. When you deplete your health bar, it'll actually take them a second to a second and a half to blow up. So as soon as their health bar is fully depleted, just stop firing so you can kind of conserve some ammo. Alright, so we're going to cut to the this tech plant here, and I wanted to show you this. You know, it's kind of long, but tech plants have an amazing number of turrets. But not just turrets, they have generators, they have, you know, the SCU, and pretty much everything. I'm not exactly sure why I landed this the scythe so far away from the turrets, but one of the things that you can do with a tech plant is hack a turret and then use it to destroy other turrets. And there are two types of turrets. You'll see them kind of switch off. One's an anti-air, one's an anti-ground turret. And you really want to hack the ones that are the anti-ground because they deal a lot of damage to other turrets, to vehicles, and they just have a huge splash radius. So if you're dealing with enemies, you know, it's pretty easy to take care of them. So right now I'm just pegging on this this turret, and you gotta watch the heat on it, but that's not a big deal. So one of the things that you can do with these turrets, because they have such a an elevation advantage, is you can snipe turrets that are you know, within your sight line. So look around and then see if there's any available, like I'm doing here. That turret is, you know, really far away, but it saves me ammo, saves me the trouble of having to go over there and deal with it. And it's since we are so far from like pretty much anything, like the enemies, they'll see on the map, they'll see their little square glowing because it's under attack and you're an enemy in the area. But really, people do not often come to these zones because there's simply not a lot there's not a lot of opportunity for them as far as experience, because you'll go, you know, find this zone and then okay, they're at the tech lab, right? But you won't be able to find the individual person. It's like they're always, you know, even if they're taking generators, you know when one has been compromised, but that's not to say that you're going to be able to find the actual person and then deal with them. So I'm going to keep destroying the turrets here, and I'm not going to destroy the consoles. You can if you like, but hacking them I find is just, it's easier and it's more disruptive for the enemy, because not only can they not repair it, they actually have to go find, you know, another console to like to switch to infiltrator, and then rehack it. The best thing in my mind would actually be to hack them and then destroy them with like this allied turret, but that'll, you know, it'll do the whole friendly fire, like, you know, warning, you're being a douche sort of thing. But I'm just going to hack these turrets, and I'm not going to use them for the time being. Well, actually later on we'll come back up and we'll pick up a new scythe, because my scythe currently is out of ammo, which is kind of the whole reason that I put the why I set it down anyway, or else I would just be dealing with these turrets, you know, by myself. But yeah, so we're just going to hack these turrets, and then we'll jump down this really long elevator into the enemy base. We're going to systematically destroy certain parts of the base. We're going to do it in a certain order. So as soon as I dealt with the top floor, come down here, going to deal with the vehicle bay. So a few things to note about tech plants is that if someone decides to jump in one of the turrets up there, they can take out your fighter very easily. So you definitely want to neutralize that threat as well. And they can harp on the ground with the AoE explosions from the Phalanx tournaments, the Phalanx turrets. Now we're not going to be able to cap this zone because the hex isn't it's not linked to any of our hexes, which is not a big deal because we're really not focusing on capturing zones anyway. It takes way too long. The experience gain is not really there. But we are going to destroy the main generator. So this thing, I just lit it up. 350 experience for the attempt, and then another 350 experience for when it actually does go off. And generators, I'm not sure the time, but it seems like about a minute, maybe longer for them to actually hit the detonation point. And that's so enemies can come in and they can fix their stuff, stabilize the generators again. And what's funny is that you can actually do rings of just taking the generator, then the enemy fixes it, and then just keep going around and around like that. And a lot of the times you don't even do it, intentionally. The enemy's just trying to clean up your mess, right? So they won't think to go ahead of you. But right now we're going to move around we're going to move in a kind of a big circle. So I hit the main generator on the inside of the tech plant, and that will destabilize the shields surrounding the SCU. Look at the floor real quick, because a lot of people they'll leave proximity mines, and that'll just ruin your day, ruin your whole you grind, and then you have to come way out here again. So just make sure to take a quick look at the floors. So we're gonna destabilize that, and then we're gonna head to the SCU. So the SCU is in the northeast corner, which is in between both of the barriers for the gates. So like I said, we're just running a circle. Now the shields around the SCU are destabilized because we didn't go, or because we hit the generator on the inside first, which gave it enough time to explode. So now destabilize the SCU. We're going to go to the northern side, and we're going to take out the other shields, which are the vehicle shields, and that would take the whole thing down. But tech plants, they actually have back entrances, so it's pretty easy to infiltrate them either way. I know the layouts, they change a lot depending on the zones and depending on just the area of the map, but I'm pretty sure that this is kind of standard for all tech plants, is that they have these just little doors that you can kind of go in the back of, and that's what we're going to do right now. We're going to go head towards the A again, and then we're going to take that long elevator up to the top of the facility once more. And at this point, if an enemy decides to come by and clean up the generators, or do what they got to do, it doesn't really matter, because we've already caused so much destruction that it'll just take them a long time to loop around and kind of fix things, and they'll get some experience out of it, which is great. But really, we've done our job. So we're just going to take off. This is where I am now on the map, and then we're just going to head to the next big point. And that's not to say that you need to stay there or go directly towards that point. So right now, new scythe, because it's been enough time, and then we have full ammo and everything else, and then we're just going to head off. So one thing to note, like I was just trying to say before I distracted myself, was that just because we plot a course to the big facilities on the map, it doesn't mean that we can't make stops in certain places. So I'm actually stopping here because I noticed a generator, which is just the vehicle shield generator, and I'm just going to take that one out. And you can also hit the little terminals on the way. I'm kind of iffy about it, taking the vehicle and the resupply terminals. I do it. Oh, I don't do it here. Sorry. Oh, wait, yes, I do. So I'm going to fly over here and then do it. And it's because I'm fairly confident about the amount of enemies or the amount of attention I've attracted so far. So it's easy enough for me to just swing on over and then do that sort of thing. But if you hang around too long, you might get in some trouble. I don't, and I don't think I'm going to, so I'm going to go in here and take out the two terminals as well. So I'm pretty sure you get the kind of the message, the point. This is pretty easy for you to do, and you really just have to find a map that is dominated by one faction that's not your own, obviously, because they will have so much pushed up to the warp gates, because that's where a lot of the battles take place, and it's a lot of experience for both sides. But it allows you to get a lot of experience by yourself, just heading, way back and dealing with things. So that is about it, I believe. If this was at all helpful for you, or remotely interesting, or if you want to talk smack, or if you have a better idea, please like the video, comment, subscribe, that sort of thing. And I will talk to you guys next time. Thanks very much, folks. Terrell signing off.